Mm, Good evening, all. This is Sarah Keveringe, and today I'll be taking you through textile science and what is on the topic is textile fabric and what is textile science and what is fibers. And we start by defining what is a fiber. Fibers are basic units of all textiles. Textiles are a form of cloth or fabric from which clothing and other items are made. Fibers are put together to form a continuous strand, making a yarn. Yarns are woven or knitted. And in summary, what we can say is that fibers are as filament like this. This is a fiber. When it is twisted, there are types of twist. It forms yarns, and the yarns are then converted to fabric, as we normally say, from fiber to fabric. Now there is types of yarn formation and also type of fabric formation. The yarns can be changed into fabric or can be converted into fabric through twisting, bonding, weaving, all those. Now, what are the characteristics of fiber? Characteristics of fiber include strength, shrinkage, warmth, durability, absorbency, wicking, wrinkle, resiliency, wrinkle, elasticity, shape retention, abrasion resistant, luster, among others. And then we also check on the types of fibers or groups of fibers. There are main two groups of fibers normally. Normally they call man-made or unnatural fibers. The natural fibers come from natural things such as plants and animals, and the man-made fibers are also called the manufactured fibers. They come from chemicals mostly, and mostly they are formed through polymerization. So today we'll be focusing on natural fibers, and the natural fibers include, as you can see on my screen, that is like this strand that I'm holding here right now. That is a fiber. And you can see there are so many colors. You can tell us the colors they're seeing. Just since I can't see you from my end, just answer. Okay. There seems no one is answering. So you can see it is fibers, they're normal. There's some red, green. And so what are natural fibers? I will say they come from man-made things. They come from natural things such as plants and animals. And they are classified into plant, which is cellulosic fibers, or protein fibers, which are also called animal fibers. We'll start with cellulosic fibers. Cellulosic fibers comprises of plant fibers, which are come from the plant sources. They are generated from the plant, and there are normally common three types of cellulosic fibers, which include cotton, flax, and linen, but you can also have the sisal fibers, the one we normally use here in Kenya to make crops. And now for the protein fibers, they come from animals. For wool, come from the sheep skin, and the silk come from the cocoon. They are being reared, and then they produce silk fibers, which are then converted to silk. Okay, now we start by looking at cotton. Cotton is normally the most common natural fiber that all over, it's planted all over. Under the screen, you can see there are photos of the cotton. You can see, and mostly, even in Kenya here, it is being grown. And let's look at what are the advantages of cotton. We are not looking at properties today, looking at the advantages. They are less expensive, inexpensive, meaning they are cheap. They launder as well, meaning they are very easy to wash. They are soft, they are warm, and they hydrophilic, meaning they love water. They are very absorbent, and then they dye well. And speaking of dye, we'll look at the properties that make it dye. There's something called, whereby it is being dipped into sodium hydroxide solution and make it be very dyeable. What's the name of that process, if you can remember? Okay, you can go and find out. Another one is wrinkle. These are the disadvantage, is that cotton wrinkles easily, meaning you can't wear it without ironing. It soils easily, it gets that easily, and then it is not resistant to mildew, meaning when it is damp and you leave it damp, you'll find it has grown mildew. And then flax, which is linen, you can see down there, those are flax. Flax is a fiber used to make linen. It is the first cellulosic fiber used for making fabric. As you can see, it is being even quoted in the Bible, linen. Linen is a very common fiber or fabric that is mentioned in the Bible. It is an ancient, it is over 4,000 years old. It was made over 4,000 years ago, and mostly in Egypt. We can, Egyptian, it is made mostly in Egypt, in the ends of pharaohs. Pieces of linen have been found in tombs of the pharaohs, Egyptian mummies wrapped in linen, and are still seen even in museums, meaning it has really dated many years ago. Today in Belgium, France, and Netherlands, and the Netherlands and Poland produce most of the linen fabric. Now, what are the advantages of linen? They are very durable, very absorbent, they are lint-free, hard to soil, they don't get that easily. And what are the disadvantages? That they wrinkle easily and they are very expensive. Linen is being termed as very expensive fabric even in the Bible. And wool is manufactured from the sheep skin, and you can see it is very warm, strong insulator, lightweight, absorbent, wrinkle resistant, fire retardant. And the disadvantage is that it shrinks easily, requires dry cleaning, and it is very expensive. And now when you check at the silk, silk is a protein fiber that comes from the cocoons of silkworm. Manufacturers unwind the cocoons to obtain the fiber. The silk fiber is the longest natural fiber, sometimes reaching 1,000 yards more. How realistic is that? Japan is the leading producer of silk. China, France also produce silk, and it's produced from the silk. You can see silk cocoon. Those animals, they live in cocoons, and those ones, they are produced from there. What are the advantages of silk? It is very strong, it is very lustrous, very elastic, resists wrinkling, so smooth that dirt doesn't cling to it. Disadvantage is that it is hard to wash, requires dry cleaning, and very expensive. And that brings us to the end of our today's session. When we meet next time, we'll be discussing about the properties of those fibers, and also we will further look at the animal fibers. So I'm giving you an assignment, go and research on the man-made fibers, what is polymerization, properties of Nile, all that classification of man-made fibers, then we will discuss in the next class. Have a nice evening.